What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Mikey's Action Figures channel. Today we're going to show you guys how I use synthetic dye on action figures, ins and outs of how I use synthetic dye. So we're going to dive in, check it out. Let's get it, you guys. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Mikey's Action Figures, and today I had an idea. I wanted to make a kit bash of a suited body for Cletus Kasady. In order to do that though, I'm gonna need this red synthetic dye, and I'm obviously gonna have to crack a torso. So usually I like to just do this all on my own. I don't record anything except for like the before, the after photos and stuff like that. But I realized that a lot of people in the comments always ask, how do you crack the torsos? How do you use the synthetic dye? So I figured, you know, why not just make a video of me putting all this together and going through it step by step on how I personally do it, and hopefully this helps other people. I will say two things: using synthetic dye can get a little bit messy, and then also cracking a torso could be a little bit dangerous. You could hurt yourself. So I definitely recommend, under the age of 18, have your parents do this for you. If you're a kid who wants to do some swaps and stuff like that, you should not be doing it on your own. You should have your parents do it for you. Alright, you guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to crack the torso on this figure. I decided to go with the brown pants. I had these fodder. I feel like the red is going to dye into these a lot better. But first things first, we're going to crack the torso. Let's do it. Alright, you guys, so to crack a torso, this is what I use. I have a box cutter. I have a prying tool, which is basically just a flathead screwdriver. I have my super glue for afterwards, and we have our figure pieces. And this is how you could do it. So basically, the reason why I have a glove on is because when you're trying to pry some stuff off, sometimes it'll kind of like hit my finger. I've actually cut my finger a couple times doing that, so be very careful. So the way that I do it is, let me go ahead and zoom in so you can see that. And so I just basically put it under, tuck it till it comes off like that. Sometimes it doesn't always come off. It'll crack one side, crack the other side, but basically that's how you crack our torso. So you take those pieces off. Now the reason why I have the box cutter is because usually it's a little difficult to get into the lines here. So what I do is I take a box cutter here, push it down and wiggle it. I try to wiggle it. I do both sides just like that. Is once I get a little gap, you can see the gap. I don't know if you can see it, but you push it in the gap and just crack. You'll hear a crack. That's how you know you really got it. Bam. That's how you crack that bottom piece so you can swap out the pants. So now I can basically just take this piece here, put it on the pants, and basically swap it all out piece by piece. So we got our pants, our jacket and arms. These are all going to be dyed the color we need them to be to make this Cletus Kasady figure. So this is the stuff you need and should have before you start dyeing anything. So you need a pot you don't care about. Boil the water. Once again, if you're 19, you shouldn't be doing this. I'm just going to keep saying that because if you're a kid trying this, your parents are going to get mad at me. Don't do it. You'll get in trouble. You shouldn't even be watching this video. You need your synthetic dye. You get this from Walmart for $5 to $7. You should have a spoon that you don't care about because that color might stay on there. A napkin for if you get any drops around, you get to wipe it off. And then right here, when I'm like scooping on my figures, I have a paper and a paper plate so that I'm not making any messes at all, so everything stays clean, so that my wife doesn't kill me. So let's go ahead and dump some. Oh look, I'm already making, so I'm showing you guys, I already made a mess because I dumped so much. So when I make a mess like that, I take the rag, scrub it off. So you can already see it's making a little bit of a mess. So I always have a rag with me because I will make a mess. Okay, you guys, so we got the dye ready. Now I just basically take the parts that I want to drop in and just drop them in like that. Same thing with the jacket. Plop that bad boy in there. And then now with some of the joints, so you guys know what I do, I like to bend the joints to get them dyed all the way in the knees so you don't have any of the old original color in there. So then I just go ahead and drop it in like that. Bam. Alright, so as you can see, it's starting to turn a little red. Alright guys, so I put on some gloves because I wanted to show you guys some of the things that happen when you're dyeing. If you see this piece is not as red, you'll have to take these legs off and let this piece sit there to let that get the same color as these red legs. So another perfect example, you can see that it looks all nice and red here. Everything looks nice and red, but the moment I lift this up, you'll see the white. Same thing with bending these elbows, you'll see the white in there. So you want to bend all the joints they could see so you can dump it back in and get it red all the way around. So those are just some important things I want to point out. When you're dyeing the figures, you do want to have some gloves. Alright you guys, so we're all set. We have everything dyed, so this is what it looks like. Came out together really nice. I got the nice red burgundy. We got the jacket, the arms, and the legs all ready to go to be put together. But before I put everything together, I just want to show you guys the aftermath just so you can see. And if you want to dye at home, you can clean these pans. We're going to keep washing it just to be safe. But to the wives out there, if we use your pans, it's still good. So okay guys, so we have everything right here, all the pieces and parts. You need to put them back together. So what I like to do before I do anything, I rinse it, make sure there's nothing left of the dye, just so you don't have any extra dye to get on any of the parts of the figures. Alright guys, so we're all set. We piece them out, put them all together, and we have our Cletus Kasady, the Carnage Killer, in a nice burgundy red suit. Alright you guys, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got a lot of information on how to use the dye and how to crack a torso on a figure. But that is my Cletus Kasady Kitbash. I do have a little bit of dye on my hands, but no big deal. I prefer to use dye because when you dye a figure, it stays that way forever. It will not paint rub, nothing will kind of come off. Whereas when you paint a figure, there is paint rub, and there's a lot of opportunity for your paint to scratch off or whatever it may be. It won't do that with dye. So as long as you like try to keep it clean and do what you got to do, you should be fine and have no issues. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until the next one, let's get it.
I told you fools this is gonna be a good video.
So you need that rag. That rag, that shit's gonna stay there, dude. Okay, it came off, we're good.